Joint security operatives raid suspected hideout of gunmen and kidnappers in Anambra State. On the foreign scene, President Trump says America in mourning as more than 60 feared dead after jet hit helicopter. Good evening. This is news at 7 on West Spring Television. My name is Tomilola Daniel. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has flagged the federal government for implementing the policies of Bretton Woods institutions, saying the removal of subsidies and increased tariffs are emasculating Nigerians. NLC spokesman Benson Upa stated this in the news chat this morning, noting that the government keeps on emasculating Nigerians through stupid taxes, and the point will come when people can pay but will not pay. The Labour official rejected the recent announcement of a 50% telecom tariff hike by the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) and proposed a 5% increase in the cost of data and calls. It said there was no one going back on its nationwide protest scheduled for Tuesday, 4th of February, to drive home the displeasure of the group against the recently announced telecom tariff increase. He noted that the 50% increase was not going to work given the situation of the country, adding that the ordinary Nigerians will bear the brunt. So the Court of Appeal Abuja has affirmed the proscription of the Indigenous People Biafra IPOB as a terrorist organization. A unanimous decision by a three-member panel led by Justice Hamma Barka. The appellate court affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which outlawed the IPOB. The court held that it found no reason to set aside the order the federal government got against the group, dismissing the appeal for want of merit. The late former Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Abdul Kafarati, in a ruling he delivered on September 15, 2017, outlawed the activities of the IPOB in Nigeria. The proscription order followed an expert motion the former Attorney General of Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, filed on behalf of the federal government. In the meantime, the convener of the Revolution Now movement, Omoyele Sowore, has been granted bail to the tune of 10 million naira and one shorty in like sum. The shorty must be a responsible individual with landed property valued in like sum. While ruling on the bail application, the trial judge, Justice Musaliman Sowore, had on Monday honored the invitation of the police when he was questioned at the Force Criminal Investigation Department. He was subsequently granted administrative bail, but rejected the condition of bail and remained in custody. The police filed the 16-count charge of cybercrime against him in Court 3. The police said Sowore on December 20, 2024, through his ex-handle, called the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, the illegal IG of the Nigeria Police Force. Still with legal matters, Justice Chinyere Ine Chionwu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, sitting in Kuje, has rescheduled the arraignment of former Executive Secretary of National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Professor Usman Yusuf, to February 3rd. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had on Wednesday arrested Yusuf and brought him before the court today for arraignment on allegations of fraud. The arraignment was, however, moved to Monday to allow for amendment of the charges, according to a statement by the EFCC spokesman, Dele Oyewale. Though defense counsel Isa Dr. Haruna, who held brief for the lead defense counsel, O.I. Habib San, made an application for bail, it was toned down by the court on account of the defendant's deferred arraignment. Professor Yusuf was arrested by EFCC operatives who raided his residence on Wednesday. Yusuf was relieved of his appointment in 2019 by former President Muhammadu Buhari, a month after he was recommended for dismissal by a fact-finding panel set up by the Federal Ministry of Health over alleged mismanagement of 919 million naira. Turning into politics, amid the crisis rocking the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the party has been asked to remove unfaithful and innocent individuals. This comes a day after a clash occurred at the headquarters of the PDP in Abuja, which was triggered by dispute over the position of National Secretary. While speaking today on WSTV's Morning Spring, a former Southwest PDP Publicity Secretary, Ayo Fadaka, dismissed concerns about the party's stability, assuring that the current crisis will be resolved. He, however, claimed that FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has significant influence over some members of the party's National Working Committee.
Disappear once we have a proper national chairman, who I believe will make the reinvigoration of the party a task that he must accomplish. The man that is acting national chairman is ready to do anything to prolong his illegal stay in the office. You will see that he has used that position here, and his secretary, the national secretary, they have used that position to forestall the quarterly meeting of the National Executive Committee of the meeting. And this is because they know that if that meeting holds, they may be shown the way out of their positions. But now, as it is, they committed themselves to holding the meeting in February. And hopefully, if that meeting holds, the National Executive Committee of the party should be able to provide a direction that the party will sow in the next few weeks or months to come. So for me, the PDP has always gone through one crisis or the other, even when we were in government. There's always been one crisis or the other that have always been resolved positively at the end of the day. And this will not be enough. We only need to take out the moles in our party, those that are not serving the party sincerely, forthrightly, and faithfully. They have to be removed from positions that gives them the muzzle to so do. And once that is done, we'll see the PDP rise again. Yes, of course. There is no point trying to hide behind the finger at this time, at this period. Wike can do what he's doing because I suspect that he has some people at the National Working Committee of the party in his pocket. And so that I don't put your station and myself in trouble, let me not mention names now. He has some people in his pocket, but those people will soon be removed from those positions already.
The verbal crossfire between former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai and presidential media aide Daniel Bwalya continued this morning. On Monday, El-Rufai spoke at a national conference in Abuja, saying he no longer recognized the APC and that the party is tended toward a one-man show. Bwalya responded on X and said the former governor would not have expressed such a position if he were in the cabinet of the president. Replying to the presidential aide on X this morning, El-Rufai said he was not interested in any position in the government, noting that the man on later day convert of the government make an issue of something that he never wanted in the first place was a reflection of their moral flexibility. He stated that if he was in the government, he will say or do the same on the tragedy within a party he was a founder, and the government that emerged from it, first in private with those concerned, and then go public if no remedial actions are taken. President Tinubu nominated El-Rufai as minister in August 2023, but the ex-governor's nomination was rejected by the Senate Since the incident, El-Rufai has not been seen in a gathering of APC chieftains. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has raised concerns over the lack of internal democracy within political parties, warning that weak primary elections pose a serious threat to Nigeria's electoral system. Professor Yakubu made the assertion at the public presentation of a book titled Celebrating 100 Years of Political Party Evolution in Nigeria, the Imperatives of Nigeria's Political Stability, Issues and Solutions, an event organized by the Inter-Party Advisory Council in Abuja this afternoon. The INEC chief emphasized that transparent, fair, and credible primaries are crucial for strengthening democracy, noting that poorly conducted primaries have led to widespread dispute, litigations, and instability in the electoral process. Professor Yakubu said a democratic society cannot thrive if political parties fail to practice democracy internally, stressing that political parties remain the bedrock of democracy. To security matters, the joint security operatives in Anambra State have launched a major raid on a suspected hideout of gunmen and kidnappers at Enugu Agidi in Ijukoka local government area of Anambra State. The operation, led by the state security outfit Operation Udo Gaachi, took place around 1 a.m., with many of the hoodlums reportedly fleeing with injuries as the security forces overran the base. The strike force recovered a cache of weapons and other items, including 2 AK-47 rifles, 8 pump-action guns, 4 locally made pistols, 3 packets of cartridges containing 101 rounds, 4 empty AK-47 magazines, amongst others. The Operation Udo Gaachi troops carried out the raid in a collaboration with the police, Department of State Services, military, and other security agencies. According to sources, the operation was based on intelligence report, adding that 1 gunman was arrested and he is helping in further investigation. The State Police Command is yet to release an update on the development, but the operation has been confirmed by the state government through the Office of the Press Secretary to Governor Chukwuma Soludo. In Ondo State, 5 farmers have been reportedly murdered by armed men suspected to be herdsmen in the Ajegule power line community in the Akure North local government area of the state. The victims were said to be laborers from Plateau and Kaduna State working on the farmlands. An eyewitness account narrated that the attack occurred around 3 p.m. on Tuesday, adding that the herdsmen had engaged in destroying their crops and disrupting their livelihood in the community. One of the laborers who survived the attack revealed that the herdsmen suddenly appeared and started shooting sporadically, killing 5 people. The State Police Command Public Relations Officer of CSP, Fumilayo Odulami, confirmed the incident. However, she was unable to provide the exact number of casualties, stating that the police was investigating the matter. In another development, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says there is hope and redemption for those struggling with substance abuse. Assistant Commander of Drug Demand Reduction of Osun NDLEA, Oluwatobi Adegoke, stated this amid the menace of substance abuse in the country. While addressing the situation on WSTV's Morning Spring, Adegoke highlighted the efforts. She further emphasized that youth are the most vulnerable, with peer pressure being a major contribution factor to drug abuse.
One of the most important things, especially my department, that we're doing about this thing, we are doing public enlightenment. Started from primary school to secondary school to tertiary institution, to tell them the danger inherent in drug abuse. That is one thing, because we see that this drug war is not the war that maybe NDLEA alone can fight, that this is the war that all hands must be on deck, that we should fight it collectively. We call it war against drug abuse. because some people, they are ignorant of this thing. They don't know what it entails. Either it's dangerous to the body or not. We don't know. They don't know. So when we are passing this message, campaigning from school to market, to public places, to garage, to park, to everybody, people will know that this thing, they are not good to be using in the society. But in a situation, when I said that physicians, doctors, health workers, condition may warrant that somebody may sick, they know better than ordinary person that is not professional in that area, like psychiatric patients, they are in position, they are in best way to prescribe correct drug that will suit the person at the right time. The factors that are responsible for this drug abuse, I would say number one is peer pressure. When you look at our society nowadays, that the youth are the most vulnerable aspect of people that are abusing drug. Pressure, which is characterized by the desire to be acceptable among friends or social circle. When 3 or 4 people are moving together, you say, you are not. You are old school. You don't want to be like us, this and that. They will initiate the person.
Elsewhere, the transmission company of Nigeria said its tower T195 along the Gwaji-Makodi 330 kilovolt transmission line was vandalized on Saturday. TCN's General Manager, Public Affairs, Mrs. Ndidi Mba, in a statement in Abuja today, said the vandalism took place at Watuolo village, Untonko, in Ado local government area of Benue State. Mba, however, stated that the vandalism was thwarted by the vigilance of the community members, who at about 3 a.m. noticed suspicious activity around the tower. She revealed that community members apprehended one of the suspected vandals, while the others escaped and handed him over to the police. TCN commends the people of Watuolo village for the swift action and vigilance. You're watching News at 7 on West Spring Television. Still to come. EFCC admits glitches in car auction, promises to review compliance. We'll bring you more of this when we return. Please stay with us.